Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more CasterMuse Narak StarLeague. We are in Group A, and this is the loser match. Whoever falls here is out of the tournament. The winner will go on to face Yoon in that final match to see who will go forward in a PvZ to the round of 16. In the top left, we have our kind of underdog of the group in a lot of ways, NANSU. Died very, very quickly to Yoon in his first match. And in the bottom left, we have Dewalt. Of course, one of the best non-Korean players for quite a few years now. Had a tough game against YSC. Really kind of got dominated, but I think YSC played very, very well in this group. And of course, ended up winning it. So congrats to him. The map is Allegro, so a 4-player map. And it does have a ramp. So kind of more interesting, I think, in a lot of ways as far as the openers go. We'll see if Dewalt can maybe defeat NANSU here and go to that final match. It would be awesome, awesome, awesome to see. But it will take a little bit before we really get into it. So guys, thank you for watching ArtosisCasts. If you would like to support it, there is a Patreon down in the description. Thank you for that. And of course, thank you for subscribing and just checking out and watching. Giving it those likes and putting down a comment about how great it is or how cringe the thumbnails are. You guys are just fucking fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so looks like just a gateway on both sides. Gas is coming up at the same time approximately, and no scouting as of yet. It'll be interesting to see if there are any zealots popping out. Normally you will make a zealot, because there are some funny things that can go wrong if you don't. Now, this is going to be a very quick cybernetics core coming out for Dewalt. There it is. And is he going to scout finally? Yeah, he's going to go ahead and send that out. Very quick cybernetics core here as well. So not so sure that we're going to see those zealots now. They're going to have to throw down the second pylons very soon. And they're actually going to scout each other first. This is so mirrored. It's crazy. Zealot does get started here for NANSU. Now... The Zealot will not be able to block the ramp in time. The probe will be up beforehand. No Zealot actually being made for Dewalt. One thing to mention is if NANSU were to get like an offensive pylon down, that would be very annoying without the Zealot there to power it down very, very quickly. And sometimes you'll see things like that, but I'm not sure that we will this time. The Zealots are not coming out particularly fast. He does go towards that mineral line. He does not see any Zealot or anything, so I think he knows this is directly into Dragoon. Of course, this probe for Dewalt being chased down by the Zealot as well. Range upgrade starts for Dewalt. And look, he is trying to get one. There he goes. So he traps 2 probes here. You can pop a probe out easily. In fact, he's going to pop both. Is he going to get both? They both went back in? What? Okay, only one ends up inside. That's normally what does end up happening. Oh my god, he just popped another probe. Oh, a little bit of miss micro there. Anyways, does get the cancel on that, but it is some lost mining time. I would say that was overall net good for NANSU, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Another pylon going down for Dewalt. Both sides are getting their Dragoon range. And the probe coming down. Oh, he's going to get caught here. A little bit surprising, actually. The probe comes back. And he actually does hit that last shot. If you miss that, sometimes you'll get the probe up and actually get a scout as to what's going on. Maybe he was looking for a forward pylon. If you see a pylon up here, you know it's going to be a robo almost always. That's just such a common place for robos to go down. You don't have to make them there, but yeah, it's very, very common. And in fact, he decides, you know what, this is close enough anyways. Throws the robo down right here. And of course, that makes the Reaver like rally up more quickly. But this is kind of a funny location because I'm fairly certain the Reaver will pop out here. I don't play Protoss, so I'm not in these positions with these buildings, but okay, there you go. I was going to say, this is not a good place, because if the Reaver pops out here, it has to walk around the Robo, then up, and that's actually pretty far. It would have been better to put the Robo here, and then it pops out there. But with this pylon there, it should make the Reaver pop there, so that's going to be a very direct distance. Anyways, nice pylon adjustment there. So taking a look, NANSU is making that very quick nexus off of one gateway. This is very similar to what we saw before from YSC. But Dewalt is putting on damage immediately. Look at this, diving on that Dragoon, and he does get it pretty low, but the Zealot, of course, puts out so much damage, you do have to be careful as soon as it's hitting your Dragoons. Now, getting that scout off and seeing how quick the Nexus is, Dewalt throws down his own Nexus, and this is in very good time, right? So it's not that far behind, but he does already have the Robo, and he already has Reaver tech on the way. 2 gates going up for NANSU, but realistically, unless Dewalt screws up with this attack, okay, he gets 1, he gets 2, he loses 2. That's good, I think, for Dewalt. He's going to run back, and he should not take any hull damage. Yeah, just barely not. But he is going to get Reavers out really quickly here. So the 3 gate, I don't think we're going to see NANSU be able to actually do damage, like attacking into a choke that's going to have a pylon screwing everything up, possibly a shield battery if he really feels like he needs one. I don't think he will. But just the Reavers should do a fantastic job of keeping him back. So it's like higher tech for Dewalt, higher quality, but slightly behind maybe on the economy. Not even that much, honestly, because there was some probe cutting. I mentioned this before. When you're getting the 3 gates up afterwards, you are going to see a little bit of probe cutting with these quick Nexuses. So as the Nexus finishes, look, the probe count, 29-29. So they're even, right? Like, this is even economy right now. Just a little bit longer of better saturation for NANSU, so just a little bit more mining for him. But definitely not a huge issue for Dewalt. Now, let's take a look. He's running down with his army. So this is 6 Dragoons and is all against 4 Dragoons and a Reaver. And this pylon screws up AI so much you wouldn't even believe it. So let's see how this goes. I think Dewalt's going to be fine. That's a good first Scarab. He's trying to target down the Reaver. Okay, the second Scarab does not do that well, to be honest. Ouch. The Zealot actually did quite a bit of damage. Now it's 4 Dragoons against 3, so NANSU did actually take a very strong beginning of that engagement. And the probes come out and actually get a perfect surround on this Dragoon. So, yeah, and he surrounds the second one as well. So, more are coming down, but the probes, these are fighting probes. We're going to have, well, the second Reaver is actually not, it like just started. He made an observer first. So, actually a little bit of trouble here for Dewalt. He's losing a lot of mining time. He's starting to lose probes here as well. So, you know, I take it back. I thought NANSU was not going to be able to get as much done as he did, but it was a great dive on the Reaver. If Dewalt had happened to make like a shield battery, I doubt he would have done that. NANSU, I doubt he would have attacked, because then it definitely wouldn't have worked out. And I think Dewalt is going to be able to stabilize. I don't think this is just going to end. He runs up the ramp. He's about to have another Reaver. But he is losing these probes. Like, look at the probe count, 30-40. So NANSU, I mean, he had a pretty disappointing first game, but you can see definitely has a good idea of what he's doing here in PvP. It's 6 Dragoons against 6 and a Reaver. So he's going to be able to push it back. The pylon's kind of screwing up AI here a little bit for NANSU as well, and it's probably best to just run at this point. The double pylon, this many Dragoons and a Reaver, you can't really attack in there anymore. So finally, Dewalt will send his probes back down, but he's down 13 workers. 27 against 40. That is not a good fight for Dewalt in any way. This is a tough game. He is making another Reaver. Let's take a look up here. Observer just kind of scouting out. He knows that his probes are much, much less. We're on 5 gates right now for NANSU. That's pretty heavy. Going into his own Reavers. It's an uphill battle here for Dewalt if he wants to win this game. And I'm trying to think like what you're looking to do here. I think this comes down to having to take a very, very good engagement. Like, look, he's got a probe here checking, a pylon here checking. So what NANSU needs to do is make sure that a Reaver drop doesn't catch him off guard, right? That's the first thing that can really go wrong for you. The only other thing that really can go wrong is a bad engagement. So how does NANSU avoid that? How does Dewalt maybe make that occur, right? Like, is there some way for him to induce NANSU into attacking poorly? Now, NANSU has a lot more units right now. He has a ton of Dragoons. He's bringing down his shuttle with his first Reaver. We do have 2 Reavers here. We do have the 2 pylons, which, again, screw up AI a lot. Attacking in with buildings there, units don't like that. That's why you see things like this, especially when you have mirrored armies. It really can make a big difference. Now, here comes the Reaver. He's going to want to actually hit the other Reavers. There's no shuttle here yet. NANSU, by the way, is getting shuttle speed. Now, here comes a shuttle for Dewalt. He really needs that because normally what happens in these situations are Reavers popping in and out trying to kill each other. A Reaver can only take 2 Reaver hits. Like, it's dead after 2. So a lot of it becomes just Scarabs going towards each other and then picking them up with the shuttle. I'm surprised NANSU didn't try a little bit harder there to get a Scarab to hit a Reaver because it almost kills them. Anyways, he does pull back for now, throws a pylon down at this 3rd base location. Looks like he wants to put a few Dragoons into his main base to make sure that Reaver drop coming in. I don't know, maybe that was just a poor rally. He's actually going up to 6 gates here as well. Let's see, does he have a Citadel? There's no Citadel. Over here on Dewalt's side, okay, so this is how Dewalt has decided to come back. He's going up to 6 gates, and he has that Citadel, and he has Storm on the way. So Storm is actually better than Reavers in a lot of ways. Reavers are better in the early game because you can kind of just get them going. But if you just Storm on the shuttle, it almost kills it immediately. Like, shuttles are kind of slow, so it's a little bit difficult to utilize the Reavers against Storm. So it's a good idea. Now, oh my god, look at this. Everything just diving in here for NANSU. Is he going to take that poor attack we were talking about? Looks like these Reavers of his are going to get picked off rather quickly. Another Reaver coming down the ramp. These Dragoons on high ground doing a great job as well. Oh my god, Dragoon blood absolutely everywhere. And without a doubt, Dewalt has taken this fight better. Oh god, that Reaver's still alive somehow. I can't believe it. Just 1 hit left over. And that pylon has tanked a lot of damage in here as well. His own Reaver at 1 hit also. And now Dewalt is only down 8 workers. And when you add that to his supply, barely down army supply. So suddenly it's like, yeah, Dewalt is teching up here. He's going into Storm, and NANSU did a poor attack with his only Dragoon Reaver composition. Is he going to switch it up? Okay, Citadel coming up as well as a Forge. So, oh god, a Reaver drop in the main base. Almost missed that. And this is actually a lot of probes falling, man. Oh my god, this is a huge amount. And of course that's going to get picked off. Nothing you can do about that, but he just killed like 15 probes. That's gigantic, especially with such a hurt Reaver. Absolutely fantastically done. So Dewalt's economy takes a hit after he almost recovers to NANSU's level. But look, he took a better overall army engagement. Like, look at this supply. Yeah, he's down about 20, and he's down about 20 probes. So the army supply is similar, but we now have Storm for Dewalt. That's a really, really big deal. Legs are on the way for Zealots for both sides. But yeah, the Storm is such an important factor here. Dragoons clump up a lot in these fights. So Storm does a huge amount of damage to them. Like I said, you can clear Reavers very, very quickly with the Storm, right? Like, they almost... 2 Storms kills just about anything in the game, truly. But definitely kills a Reaver. 1 almost kills it. So anyways, the 3rd base coming up for NANSU on this high ground up at 12. And look at this, a big attack coming in, but the Storm goes down, and you kind of have to pull back. You can't eat that. You can't eat that. Storm does 124 damage, I want to say. Something like that. It's right around there. So it's like pretty insane, the amount of damage, right? Look at that. Storm's right on those Reavers and shuttles as anticipated. And that means that the shuttle will end up going down. Another great Storm onto those Dragoons, trying to take down these Reavers. Okay, a couple good shots. Doesn't try to run them because you can't. They're too slow. Ends up losing all of his Reavers, and NANSU running away now with the remaining Dragoon army that he has. A lot of Speed Zealots coming out. So the Speed Zealot's going to be a big part of this now. When you start losing armies in PvP, as the production gets big, a lot of times you reinforce with Speed Zealots and Archons quite a bit. They're very fast. They can kind of move around a little bit more. So we'll see if they kind of switch into that. And of course, you lose your Reavers, and not many people remake them deep into a PvP, right? Eventually it becomes like Storm, Zealot, Archon. A lot of the time in later game PvP. So let's see if that's going to be that way. We do have the 2 Reavers for Dewalt still here. NANSU trying to pick off that shuttle, and in fact will get the shuttle. Storm's going down on the Archons and Zealots here. A little bit hard to hit those just right, but Dewalt does a good job. He has these 2 Reavers that are stranded out here. So this is the moment to make a move with the Reavers. They are not going to get out alive, so I think it's a good idea to try to go over here, maybe get something done. Let's see what type of hits he can get. Okay, a couple good Scarabs right there. NANSU moving around his kind of mobile army. Another Reaver has walked down to try to help fight. Really funny watching this kind of micro because you're kind of weighed down by the Reaver because it's so slow. And he's just kind of microing it back and forth. He really wants to get those big Scarab hits. Now it gets up here, and this third base is going to get destroyed. Dewalt, I feel like, is tactically way outplaying NANSU right now. Like, he keeps getting out macroed, and obviously we had that nice Reaver drop and everything. But seriously, he's just kind of outmaneuvering right now. He's done a great job getting into these other units as well. Oh, we saw a DT try to come in here, but there was an Observer with the army. A great move. If there's not, you're going to pick off that Reaver so quickly. What is it, like 5 swipes to kill it? So that's a pretty quick Reaver death. Okay, here we go. Once again, NANSU running in. A storm goes down. Oh, very good Scarabs hitting, and he is going to kill a lot of Zealots with these Reavers. Oh my god. Just fantastic usage of this ramp from Dewalt. DT coming up. Oh, there is an Observer here as well. I love that they both try it. They're like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have a detection. But either way, like, Dewalt is gaining huge amounts of value, and suddenly we're at the same worker counts, but Dewalt has the third base. This is kind of crazy to see, seriously, because NANSU for sure had advantages. Like, he did these big macro plays, did these huge attacks, but his attacking not quite as good. Dewalt with the better tech for a lot of it. His Psystorms have been fantastic, and now that he's got this third base, this is like a funny little outpost of units here, and NANSU's still trying to figure out how to clear this efficiently. He might want to just skip dealing with this and go counter or something like that. I don't know, because he doesn't have a lot going on. No mineral patches left in his main. This is getting very low. So NANSU needs to make something happen, or Dewalt is going to go to that final match. I can't believe he really turned that around like that. All right, little Reaver drop at the third. Okay, not a bad idea. He does have those speed shuttles, but he takes a lot of damage on the actual shuttle itself. 25 health left. That's only a couple Dragoon hits. Dewalt starting to go towards the center. Starting to get a pretty dominating army supply, but don't forget a big chunk of it is here. Starts the engagement, turns around. Dewalt's army coming out. This can be crushed if NANSU goes for it. Dewalt, what is he going to do here? Another Reaver drop. He does end up losing that. Doesn't really get any of the economy. Okay, here we go. This should be the end of this little group. I think you do need to clear it at this point. You don't want this flank coming in or something like that. But some good Scarabs overall. I think Dewalt did a good job. Definitely this group of units has been worth its weight in gold for Dewalt. And while he'll end up losing that, Dewalt gets into a better position, right? If you zoom out and take a look, controlling this area looks pretty strong right here. Your opponent can't really attack up into it, and you have the option to go this way or to go this way. So Dewalt right now kind of fishing to get that army to come in. He has a ton of Psystorms right now. Just dying to use them. Yeah, weakening this army up as best he can. Throws another storm down. Does get dodged to there. Dewalt taking a fourth base location. So really starting to pull ahead now. All right, backing up. Dewalt getting ready, perhaps, to attack into another location. You can see that NANSU right now, he's like not even thinking about Psystorm. It's just about those Archons. Archons do fantastically against Zealots, and NANSU does have that +1 attack, which Dewalt does not have, so that definitely helps quite a bit. But I think the Psystorms make a big difference. And look, this is pretty Zealot heavy, but he's got a decent amount of Dragoons. Dragoons do very well against Archons. So if he targets the Archons down, they die very quickly. And that's likely something you're going to see. Look at that. Storm's going down. This Archon almost dead now. Only 30 health left. NANSU has this base up and mining. But Dewalt is going for it. He's up a good, solid army supply right now. But a nice arc being made. I mean, if you take this just right and the Zealots start to evaporate, this still can switch around. Like, if NANSU takes one very, very good battle, yeah, he's about to be down a base, but you can sometimes just run them over. right? Like, if you just have those extra units run down and suddenly they're coming down the ramp with reinforcements and they're not going to be able to stop you. All right, here we go. Dewalt is going to go ahead and attack in. Let's zoom out for this one. It is a huge arc of a battle. Psystorm's going off in the center. These Zealots getting on top of the Archons. This one to the north not really helping out. The bottom part, NANSU is winning, but too many Zealots left over for his Dragoons. GG, NANSU is eliminated, and Dewalt goes to the final match.